Good day fellas, I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill, and today I want to update my review or my opinions overall about M5i aka Yoch tank. And fellas, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first game with this tank and you will see everything what is wrong with the vehicle. I honestly can't tell you fellas, I hated this vehicle with a passion. I even would rather play with a Type 5 heavy compared to this tank, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk this vehicle. What is good and what is wrong about this tank? The gun handling of this vehicle is most of the time quite trollish. I was using the best equipment I could physically and possibly could use. I was using Bond equipment while I was marking this tank, and it made my hair to go gray. I mean, all the side went like there is no tomorrow. I was feeling like I am Santa, fellas, from my gray hair, okay? Now, you can see the demonstration of the armor usage, and let's get real. Speaking about the world of tanks, well, you cannot expect people shooting potatoes at you. People will shoot, whenever people will see this tank, they are going to load the gold ammunition, and if people are going to load the gold ammunition, you are going to get shredded like hot knife through the butter no matter where. As you can see, you are getting penetrated in the face, and that's why I'm trying to raise the gun a bit to survive longer, but this needs to be said, the armor of this vehicle in my opinion is worse than E5. I truly want to put this out of the way, fellas. I really want to start our journey today with this Kaku game. I really wanted to show what this tank is capable of, and obviously in this kind of situation enemies had more guns, but I believe if I would play with a Super Conqueror, or if I would play with a Kranwagen, or maybe even with AMX M54, I would survive for so much longer here. And I just want to say one thing, I do not really trust this tank armor. I think armor of this vehicle is junk, as well as a gun. Gun is not reliable, and unfortunately if you are not getting Bond equipment, if you are not spamming full gold, you are going to have quite a problem. And now without further ado, let's go into the good game. Let's go when all stars are aligned and when we are making this tank work. Let's go. And we are back, fellas. So let's flex a bit with this result, and let's flex a bit with this tank, I would say. We are in heaven, fellas. We have a tier 8 matchmaking. Yeah, we have plenty of the gold ammunition. We have quite a bit of everything. So let's see how we are going to make the things work when all stars will be aligned. And fellas, I can promise you that that was a rare situation for me. And one more thing to ask, fellas. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you played with this vehicle yourself, what is your opinion about this tank? Would you agree with me and my saying this tank is absolutely awful, or would you say skill? Nah, not really. The tank is actually pretty good and learn to play. This is the question. At this point, obviously, I'm loading heat ammunition to spank this Tiger 2, because unfortunately otherwise I cannot penetrate him. Now, speaking about the gun, I was using 360 alpha damage, 268 millimeters of penetration with the standard rounds, and very good shell velocity. That was much appreciated. And gold ammunition, 360 alpha damage, and 315 millimeters of penetration. I know one thing, fellas, if you do not like the tank, for example, if for some weird reason you have a hate-love relationship for, let's say, Char Futur or something, it is truly hard to make the tank work if you simply do not like the tank. I am very, very well aware of that, and I know I felt literally this way with a Yoch tank or with a tier 10 vehicle, however you would call this, and I know this could influence my performance quite a bit, just because I did not really like the tank, you know. So I am very, very well aware of that. Anyways, looking into this, it is not looking that bad. We currently have 1.7 thousand damage and we are slaughtering this poor tiger. And even armor is working. Aka Mr. Jackpeas that did not penetrate us. So that looks pretty decent, don't you think so? And once again, I took like the best game ever with this tank, speaking about the damage wise, and in roughly 200 games this is what I managed to do. And when I am looking into the other tanks, even tanks I lately played without gold, I had so much more fun playing with them and my results were significantly better, even though the score was better. I mean, I don't know how to distress this enough. Let's put that in this way. Anyways, looking into the current situation, we met the Mr. Kranwagen. Obviously, Kranwagen is very, very difficult tank to deal with. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to hit him into the lower plate and I am just trying to bait his shells. I know he has only one in the magazine and that pretty much means I should use this moment, take one for the team and go in front. And this is exactly what I am looking for. I took one for the team, I'm okay with that. And now we are going to say yummy, 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 yum. How do you like my DPM gun? Yes, 360 alpha damage, but oh boy, I have plenty of the needles in my sleeve. Kranwagen is not too impressed. He still spanked us for 468, but that's okay, fellas. I am feeling completely fine with all this. And at this point, I am thinking, maybe we could actually try to make some kind of pressure on top of the hill. Yeah, maybe we are going to find the almighty Panzer. Maybe we are going to find the star 2, or maybe in the end of the day we are going to have a better angle to spank guys who are playing below, right? So let's try to speed up going on top of the hill and let's see can we meet anyone. As you can see, star 1 is running for his life like there is no tomorrow. He probably smelled our butt coming from a long distance and we met the Panzer. Unfortunately, I missed the very first shot, which I am feeling quite sad about, but in the same time I cannot change anything. And currently we have 6-11 situation. Yeah, it doesn't look like we are winning this game, at least looking into the guns. Although, if you would pay attention at the hit points, it is not that horrible. Aka, we are having only 2000 deficit. Speaking of the deficit, unlucky Panda. Unfortunately, fellas, unlucky Panda, and he took one for the team. Meanwhile, S1, how are you doing? Having a good time? Beautiful. Ooh, Panzer. I mean, when last time you took one for the team? Beautiful. 5.2 thousand damage, 200 assisting damage. Everything is looking pretty well if you would ask me. And at this situation, I would say we are feeling pretty well. And in fact, we are feeling well to that level. We might even have a chance to fight for Kolobanovs. And Kolobanovs is the medal which you are getting by winning 1 versus 5 or more. And in this kind of situation, fellas, if you would pay attention, yeah, our Trash 103 is getting flanked, BR spanked him, T32 is reloading quicker, and this is officially 1 versus 5 situation. Luckily for me, even though I do not have that much hit points, luckily for me, fellas, I still have a bit of HP left, and luckily for us, enemies do not have hit points left. So now the mind games will start. What we are supposed to do? Our Trash 103 is saying I don't know how to penetrate him, and in fact, if you would pay attention how the things are looking like, he said Trash 103 in the first moment of the game. So cheers to you, kudos to you, Marky, kudos to you. Anyways, once again, we are not going to give up. And at this point, I am thinking, okay, from here enemies might come and what they are doing. Light tank never ever was spotted, so that indicates for me the light tank might be AFK. Because there is no way 7 minutes into the game he never ever was spotted. It is impossible. And at this point, I am thinking, okay, no one is getting spotted. that doesn't seem right. What that means they should go on top of the hill and they will try to play against me there. And I am doing some laps here just to check it out. Maybe we have Vaza sitting somewhere on the corner, but as you can see, it is not the case. I am checking the other corner. Okay, it is not the case as well. And enemies are not capping the base either. I mean, looking into this situation, fellas, I can see only one outcome of all this, and enemies went on top of the hill because they are not visible for 2 minutes or so. And here we go. Greetings, buddy. How are you doing? 1 versus 4 situation officially, or maybe 1 versus 3 since the budget never ever was spotted. And at this point, I know they should sit around this area. I'm very, very well aware of that. Now, just I need to add some things. Whenever you are sitting hold down, you still have weak spot, and this is weak as well, and neck is weak. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, do not be tricked, because this tank is very far away from being perfect or from being able to pretty much do everything what you want whenever you are sitting hold down, and I truly want to highlight this. Meanwhile, Vaza is appearing on the corner and I'm saying, no, how are you doing? Vaza is not feeling very happy and T32 is nearby. Luckily for us, T32 missed his shot. This is very, very nice and this is much appreciated, and I am thinking how I could close the distance between them, because I really want to do that. Currently I am not spotted. I'm very, very well aware of that, and in the worst case scenario I can use this as a cover. What is happening in my head? I want to believe Vaza is trying to escape. As you can see, it is not the case, but it doesn't matter. I am carefully aiming my shot, boom, into Vaza. I see the Kamppanzer crossing. I do not really mind. I know the T32 wants to take one for the team. Unfortunately we low roll at him, but it doesn't really matter. I am already prepared for this Kamppanzer. I'm spanking Kamppanzer straight in the face. I'm fixing my armor rack. I am still feeling pretty Gucci. Now look at the struggle. T32 is penetrating us into the turret like there is no tomorrow, fellas. I truly want to highlight this. On paper, armor is looking somehow decent, but it's not, fellas. I truly want to highlight this, and I would highly recommend not to grind this tank, because the tank itself, it is extremely hard to play with, and not even that. Extremely hard to play with, you can deal with that. In the same time, the gun handling is not very good, and there is many bad features overall of the tank. And yeah, I want to show you those one-of-a-kind battles to show some good things about the tank as well. In this kind of situation, it's good enough to deal with a cut tank. Anyways, let's go to the round number 2, shall we? And we are back, fellas, with round number 2. Well, if we are not counting that first game, and once again, you can see what I am talking about. The game where we won Kolobanovs, and overall we won the game. The game was against the tier 8s. This game, Aka in the 3rd spot by the damage, is also against the tier 8s. You get the point what I'm trying to say, or where I am going? This tank feels okay-ish against the lower tiers. It's like you are a professional boxer and you are going for to the fight against the amateur. This is how it is looking like whenever you are playing with this vehicle. If you are fighting against the equals, ooh, this is quite complicated. If you are fighting against the weaker opponents, then it is a bit better. Now, one thing what I want to say, this is not your typical heavy tank with which you can go sit hold down like a Kranwagen, or alternatively like a Super Conqueror. This is not the tank for that. With this vehicle, you are trying to be you are trying to play a bit safer. You are trying to have a longer range, and yes, I am very well aware of that. Speaking about the longer range, your gun might be not the most accurate, but sometimes it works. And whenever the gun works, you can actually do shots like we did to 122 TM, you know, for like 500 meter range shots or something. And I know I am being kind of negative about this tank. I am very, very well aware of that, but I value your time, fellas. And I really want to highlight this, the making a decision to go to this tank, it is not that great. And you know what, I am very, very curious. I am curious what you, community, is going to say about this, because I have a feeling we had plenty of the people who actually grinded this vehicle through, and I am curious what you have to say. Did it become your, let's say, go-to tank when you are having a bad day, or how are you feeling with this vehicle? And this is very important thing to say, fellas. It truly is. Anyways, we are starting our battle 2 minutes in with a solid 2000 damage. I am feeling relatively alright with this score, and I do not feel like it is very, very horrible. And at this point, fellas, please keep this in mind. I am spamming a lot of gold ammunition. I am having bond equipment on this tank, and I am maximizing everything what I can. Usually I am trying to play the game in the budget way. By saying this, I mean I am trying to let's say play in the cheap way, you know. This is what I like to do, and this is how I like to play World of Tanks. That's why we have a no gold challenge marking, and we marked already like 6-7 tanks already this way. But with this vehicle I simply did not felt like I want to do something. Now please take a look at this. We are dealing against Centurion 7/1. This tank does not have any armor whatsoever. This tank does not have any armor whatsoever, but yeah, considering we are having like 300 meters distance and we cannot penetrate or we cannot hit, that's no bueno, fellas. And I truly want to highlight this. Now, luckily we found the E100 tourist, luckily for us, fellas, and now we are going to use the best feature of this tank, probably, which is DPM. As you can see, gun handling is not looking that great, and it is not looking awesome, but that's what we have and that's what we need to work with. Unfortunately for us, the Fede managed to find the angle to shoot us right into Baboon signature or Baboon letters, but oh well, what can you do? Obviously at this point, this is quite straightforward. All we need to do, we need to make a bit of pressure for the Fede, and we are going to make his life horrible if it is possible. Unfortunately, double track function is not really saving us. We cannot get absolutely anything on the move. Oh, you dirty Yoch tank. Now pay attention what is happening in this situation. This tier 8 is saying I give up. By the way, I do not use anonymizer with this vehicle, so I believe that's fair. So that's why he is saying, okay, Skill, okay, you got me. You big boy. Okay, Skill. Okay, we get it. You are cool. F off. And I'm not farming him. The main reason why I am not farming him is very, very simple. I do not shoot baboons. Maybe this is not the maybe this is not the wisest choice from my side, but this is how I feel like. If I see baboon with a raised gun, I am completely fine to leave him alone. Although, even though this gentleman is baboon, I can tell you one thing. The T-44 doesn't give a damn. I left his platoon mate alive. He doesn't care. I spared his friend life, and he is saying, no, Skill, I will show you what you are made of. Pooh, mud. Pooh, dirt. Pooh, nothing. Well, this is how the things went this way. But once again, we are having quite a decent score here. Well, not decent, very, very good score. We have 6,000 damage, we have 300 assisting damage, and we are still kicking some ass. So I try to show everything from this tank, show some good, show some bad, and fellas, I hope I made your life a bit easier if you are planning to grind towards this tank, just simply not to go this way. And there is one more thing which I really want to show for you, and I'm going to do that in a moment whenever this game is going to be over and whenever we are going to be in the scoreboard. Anyways, just a bit shy of 7,000 damage, but in the end of the day it was a great score, and I think we made this tank work with a lot of gold spam, pretty much non-stop, with bond equipment and playing against the tier 8s. It worked, right? Let's teleport to the garage and let's teleport to the scoreboard, and then I will say what I really wanted to. And we are back, fellas, in the garage with the scoreboard and everything. But before that, I really want to share one trend with you. If you would pay attention, Yoch tank is number 5 tank, speaking how bad win ratio is. But please keep this in mind. This is looking like this just because a lot of good players played with this tank. They tested this vehicle, they grinded this tank, maybe they got their marks and they said, F this tank. You don't believe in me? Watch this. 47.74. Now let's go to the 30 days period. Yoch is suddenly top 3 by win ratio. 46%. Okay, 47 flat. 14 days, we are looking into the Yoch tank and it is 47% win ratio. Looking into the 7 days, Yoch tank is a 46.8 win ratio. And the last 3 days, we are looking into the Yoch tank top 3 in the bottom. So, yeah, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I truly want to highlight this. And I am showing everything what I physically and possibly can. And I truly want to save your time and do not make a mistake, and I can't wait to check the comment section down below after this as well. I'm curious what is your opinion about that. Anyways, speaking about our games, what we managed to craft, two great scores. We got ourselves Himmelsdorf with a Kolobanov's medal, with a Radley Walter, Stop Gun, High Caliber, Ace Wanker. Obviously, we were bullying the tier 8s, but that's how we scored and that's what we have done. So this is hip hip hooray. And after that, we had the second game, which I showcased for you. We were fighting against the tier 8s once again. And luckily for us, we managed to show the dominance over them, especially that Centurion I missed a couple of times, and after that I got farmed by the T44. But anyways, that's what we have, and this is how we finished everything. Minus 75,000 in this game, not a big surprise. So all and all, we finished everything in 178 games with 3.3 thousand average and 800 average assisting damage, which is not very good. And I really want to highlight one thing, fellas. If you... Yes, I froze. Don't mind me if I do. If you want to see more of the Skill4ltu content, if you cannot get enough, fellas, I really want to shout out our extra channel. Lately we published Yoch tank. Lately we published Kunze Panzer, MX 13105 if you are struggling with the light tanks. And there is a lot of different content out there, and hopefully... Hopefully, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you will find something nice for yourself. We are experimenting a bit with the highlights of the stream, speaking about the super duper hyper turbo good games, so you can find many good stuff here. So for now, fellas, thank you very much for everything. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, our dear patrons, people who are clicking that join button, and people who are using index page overall, thank you for that as well, and see you very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.